What's going on, Eagles Nation? This is your boy AK Eagles and my co-host of the Eagles Late Night Talk Show, Jay Boogie, also the Backyards Birds podcast. Welcome, my guy. And for everyone out there, we have a special guest for you tonight. He is one of the raddest dudes I've ever met, and I've only known him 5 minutes. Very good guy from the 4th and John. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Smith. What's going on, man? How's you doing?
Yo, what is up, gentlemen?
What's going on, man?
I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped to be here. I'll be real with you, Jay Boogie, AK. I've been rearing to go for this damn game, and just talking to you guys for the few minutes beforehand, man. Ready to run through this effing wall. Let's talk some birds.
Literally, right? We're gonna run this one, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this game, man, because there's been a lot of talk been going on with their defense, but I don't know if people realize this, but the last time we played them, we ran the ball, and we ran it well.
I couldn't agree more. I just got done stressing this fact that I don't know if people don't remember Jalen Hurts' first career start. We came out running that damn ball, and I don't give a damn because we hear it all the time, right? Remember that time, just like a year or two ago, we played the Ravens. Haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher. We're running 100 yards. Here we go. We did. So tomorrow, that's all I keep hearing. Just like you mentioned, Jay Boogie. Oh, yeah, 72.9 yards allowed per game. Best rush defense. Let's see it. Yeah, I don't care. Just like I said last week against the Broncos, they were the 9th ranked against the rush, 10th against the pass, 6th in total yardage, 2nd in total points allowed. That's a pretty good defense, right? Don't care. Run that ball. Establish that passing game finally, too. Not just the run game. We won out in the first half and finally saw Jalen Hurts throwing some dimes. I loved what this offense was doing. You keep building on that because that's a big win. And not only, you beat them 30-13. I mean, you smack them in the mouth in their house. Now it's time to go home and do the same thing to another good defense. So love what you said there. You got to continue to run that ball. We did it last year. You do it again this year. And if Miles Sanders comes off IR, great. He just takes over Boston Scott's role. You do not stop using Jordan Howard. You got to have that thunder and lightning. Got to pound that damn rock. What is going on? I'm ready to run that ball again. And when you do, you can get that passing game going. And a lot of people talk about they got a good secondary too and a good pass rush. I don't care. We have a good offensive line. And guess what? These young receivers are still going to do some work because right now I think they're 26 against the pass. They have had their issues, but they do get some interceptions. So Jalen Hurts, be careful with the ball. We're third in turnovers right now. We are not turning the ball over, baby. So hold on to that ball, run the ball, and I think we'll find success here.
Well, let me give you a little insight here real quick, and I'm sure you probably already know, but for you out there that don't, yes, we are facing the number 1 overall rushing defense, but they're also facing the number 1 overall offense for the last 3 weeks. All right, and not just that, but they're also facing the QB with the best overall QBR in the NFL the last 3 weeks, as in Jalen Hurts. He is number 1 out of all the quarterbacks right now. QBR at 85.
Love it.
So, when you combine that, good luck.
Yeah, and we're third in the league right now. People are, we're not running the ball. We're running that ball, and it's our quarterback and our running back. So you give that. We talk about having a dual threat quarterback. People talk about that like it's a bad thing. It's like when you're using him correctly and actually running the ball, the defense is on their heels. What the hell is coming at me? You got these young receivers. We've got speed. We've got possession. You've got these tight ends, Tyree Jackson and Jack Stoll. Now we're going to see more 13 personnel. There's going to be mismatches. You keep running that ball, and defenses are going to have a really hard time. And the offensive line probably doesn't get hurt as much because they're not dropping back 500 effing times a game. Jalen Hurts doesn't have to throw the ball 30 effing times a game, which is not good for him in his development. You run the ball, only throw the ball 20, 25 times a game, and we will find success now and for the future.
I mean, let's talk about how many pounds we have pushing. You know what I mean? Like, we got Mailata, we got, we got
Dickerson.
Landon Dickerson.
I was just saying, how big is Landon Dickerson?
Yeah, dude. How many pounds do we have on that side? Just like
seriously.
You're probably looking at 800 pounds between the both of them, maybe 9.
They're monsters, man.
And Kelsey too, and then you got Lane Johnson that dips around sometimes and pushes too, So I mean, Man.
Now I have an honest question for you, Jimmy. And I thought about this, and I've asked it on, the East meets West and stuff. All right, we're not really 100% sure that this is Kelsey's last year, correct? Like, he hasn't came out and said it, so he might come back next year if all goes well this year. And if he like he said, he will play until his body tells him he can't. Okay. So maybe we like that combination of Mailata and Dickerson next to each other, because they are 2 6'7" monsters, both around 360, and to be honest, that's probably your best blind side you'll ever see. In my eyes, I would love that combo. That's like the Twin Towers standing there, So if Kels comes back next year, maybe we look to drafting another center to take Dickerson's place and just leave Dickerson at left guard. What do you say about that?
Oh, I love that. I think, where the wrench comes in is, and not a bad one, Isaac Seumalo, is somebody, they've talked about for years. And this is something, when we draft guys, bring guys in, wherever we get them from, versatility is always, it seems, a must with a lot of these guys. So Seumalo can help you there. So we have him. And I don't necessarily feel, that people give him the respect he deserves. I think if Kelsey threw a fastball at us next year and retired, I agree with you. I don't think this is just his last year. I think he wants to be a part of this retooling. He wants to, when he leaves, feel good about what he did before he left. What happened last year, he didn't want to leave like that. So, like you said, AK, he is going to give it all, and I still think he's got a lot of that. You saw him last week. He went out for a play. I'm like, damn, man. It's great, though, that he always plays. And all of a sudden, he's right back out. I'm like, damn, dude, this dude is truly the Iron Man. So I love him. I think he'll be here another year. I think that will allow us, to look toward the future. Now, I'm a huge fan of Nate Erbig. I think Jack Driscoll, both of those guys are more of depth guys, though. I think that Jack Driscoll can help you as that swing tackle, can also play guard, so that's great. But I think you need to focus this next year. A lot of it needs to be on defense again. This year we won 6 out of 9 picks were defense. Continue that again. We have 10 picks this year, whatever it ends up being, who cares? But just saying, a lot of defense. But if you're going to go with one of those top picks, if you're going anywhere on offense, offensive line, and I think specifically a guy that can play guard and center. And that's kind of saying that I don't know that Brandon Brooks is somebody that we keep around. I don't know if he's a casualty, whatever happens there. But I think you got to replace that area right there. And I'm a huge fan of Nate Erbig. So maybe, they feel that he can be that guy. But I would probably just get a monster, a stud, have him, and you have a guy that can replace Kelsey eventually if he can play center. And you allow Landon Dickerson to be that guard, because I think, you said it, Twin Towers over there, monsters, the brothers of destruction. I love it. Then you see Jason Kelsey, if something, whatever, Isaac Seumalo could play there. I think for me, though, you also have to be in line for a tackle. Now, I think Lane Johnson probably maybe another year, but I felt this way before any, thing was going on. But I think, it weighs on people, and physically, mentally, and I'd be okay with that, man. He's had a great career. I've loved what he's done. He had some issues there, but ever since, he got the whole PED thing, he came out and literally worked his ass off. I mean, he built that bro barn and has people that he pays to make him the best. That's insane. And I think it shows how much he cares. And he cares about this city. Remember, he got like free Bud Lights for everyone after we won the Super Bowl. Like, just stuff that these guys, we care. And I think, the players that do understand that, they go out and ball, man. And we see that with these offensive linemen, especially. I feel like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what we're used to as Eagles fans. I grew up, man, William Thomas. You talk about, I really call him by his real name, Trey Thomas. You talk about John Runyon, dude. I mean, I've seen some real great players. And it's like, we're used to having some hard-nosed dudes here. And even Jamal Jackson, I loved growing up. And I think seeing an undersized guy like him, Jason Kelsey, we've got, and it just gives me that vibe where it's like, I love Mailata and Johnson as the tackles. They're going to have a really tough matchup this week. Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport are no pushovers, but I think it's very awesome that we have 2 beasts sitting outside there. And then interior, too. I think, you can run the ball on anyone. I don't give a damn, like you guys said.
That's right.
I don't care what your stats say. We're third in the league in rushing because we just started running. Imagine we'd be number 1 if we were doing what we should have, and that's okay. We're a young team. I've never been pissed off. I've been a little concerned that if he didn't adjust and start running the ball, then I'd be scared shitless. But, I've just been trying to be patient this year. And as an Eagles fan, that's kind of an oxymoron because I want to put my head through an effing wall every time I'm watching the game. But,
Yeah.
you know, I try to keep in mind, okay, if we lose, it's a better draft pick. We're still growing. I try to tell myself these things, but it's like, but this team's got a lot of talent. And if they just really could get on the same page, we could be kicking ass now. So you see it last week. And I think you go out and you pounce on an offense that is, dude, without Alvin Kamara, without their tackles, we need to dominate on defense. And then that gives you an opportunity to tire this defense of theirs down. And you just keep running that ball. So the offensive line's going to help you get there. So I think to answer your question, sorry, man, I got all over the place with that. But the offensive line's awesome. But I think, you know, Sayamalu can help there. And Dickerson could too. So either one, if you want to use center or guard. But I think, AK, that I would focus on the draft getting someone at either right guard or right tackle. Because like you kind of alluded to, I think we're pretty set on the left side there.
Yeah. So how do you feel about getting a veteran receiver?
I love that idea, actually. That was something brought up to me, and someone was like, is there any, you know, exciting free agent? I was like, Devontae Adams. I mean, Chris Godwin, Mike Williams. And the next day it came out, somebody like a popular name had posted something, and it was like the list. And I was like, oh, it's even crazier than I thought. So I saw the list, AK, you posted that, and it was like, yeah. So my thing has been, I like these young receivers. Now, I don't like what I've seen from the miscues from Reagor and Watkins. I still believe in them. They're very young. I think the third year is where you really get to know a receiver. So I think we saw it from Aguilar. He helped us get a Super Bowl his third year. How weird was that? But I think that, you know, in the right situation. So for me, it's not the right situation right now where Reagor or Watkins are taking over as that too, where I feel they should. Now, that's a lot on Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, a lot of miscues that I think will in time get fixed. But I think if you add somebody like a Mike Williams as a veteran wide receiver into this corpse, oh my God. Devontae Smith and Devontae Adams. Can you imagine?
Scary.
Bro.
I'm sorry, man, but I'm going. I don't think you're getting Adams. All right, just
I don't either.
Down,
I don't either. But could you
but
imagine?
The one guy I'm pulling is Chris Godwin.
Godwin or Allen Robinson.
Because I'm telling you right now, dude, like no lie, Chris Godwin would ultimately change this offense. And as a veteran presence at only 26, you could build with Smith and him for the next 10 years easily. And you know, Godwin is a monster. He truly is, man. I respect that kid. And you could put Godwin in the slot, Quez on the outside, and Smith as number one. And dude, no one would be able to do anything.
He's the best.
It would be
him and Cooper Kupp are the best in the game. Chris Godwin is phenomenal. I would, dude. That's another one. Him, Allen Robinson. I know people think he's fallen off this year, dude. It's the Bears. I think if you would put him on this roster too, Allen Robinson, you know, kind of the opposite, but he'd give you the outside, and I think Quez or Reagor, whoever wants to take that inside, that's fine. But I think either way, with either of those Penn State guys, those are the top two priorities for me. Trust me, I would want Devontae Adams, but I'm kind of with you. I think, hey, you know what, though? We have so much cap space next year. So, hey, who knows, man? And if Aaron Rodgers leaves, maybe he's like, F this, dude.
He might go with Rodgers wherever he does
go. True.
Yeah.
I totally believe that will happen. So I agree with AK on the fact. But, hey, I'm with you on when man can dream.
So you still feel comfortable with Reagor, though?
Dude, I don't like what I've seen at all. I'm scared. But for me is this year is, and I don't want to say this because I know these guys put everything into it. They're going out there and they're trying to win every Sunday. But for me, there's going to be a lot of growing pains. So I expect the losses, but what I want to see is growth. Now, I've seen end of the game, Reagor makes a catch, scores a touchdown. I saw at this past game, he makes that sideline catch. It's like, okay, dude, well, I need to see that every play. Whereas what I would see most of the time is backwards, 8 yards, backwards, 6 yards. And I'm talking not just on these plays that show up on the stat board, on the effing punt returns, on little things where I feel you should be fair catching it, or he's just little mistakes where it's like, man. And like I said, I try to be patient, but when you're a first-round pick, and what makes it hard for everybody, it's the clear elephant in the room. Everybody talks, Justin Jefferson. We all know, yes, but I don't use that as a knock on him. It's not his fault how he did that, but I expected
more like a third or fourth.
Yeah, what I wanted us to do was trade back in the second and get him. I actually really, really, really wanted this kid in the draft. So for me, it's nuts that we took him at 20. I was like, oh, wait, what? Because Justin Jefferson was available, dude. And that, to me, you're smoking something I would like to get a hold of. But I just really don't know what the hell. And I try not to be living, in the past and be like, oh, man, if we only – because imagine DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson. I know. But it's like, we don't. So forever we could sit here. And it's like, I could go back to Earl Thomas, but Brandon Graham actually worked out in the end. So it's like, some of these guys take time. And Reagor has had different issues. He's got a father that played in the NFL. So he's got a lot that that's weighing on him, and he's got a lot of pressure. So I knew coming into this, he was going to have to work, because now people are talking about Justin Jefferson. Now people, so I wanted to see how he dealt with it mentally. Dude, bird game, a man. But I think it really weighed on him, and I hate to see it. And then his friend died, and that's when I got pissed off, because then people started going after him, and it was like, bruh. I've lost friends, and that's not cool. And
it's hard.
I really think that, we needed to give him time, and it was awesome. For me, that was a great time to see what this team was going to be, and that was a family. And I think they really did everything they could for him. Only problem is, on the field, it hasn't shown, and that's where people really care about. And I care about them off the field. I care about all these guys. They're human beings. But on the field, man, you have to come out. You were a first-round pick. You need to come up. And, dude, I wrote an article in January, 4th and John, and it was about Devontae Smith and why we should draft him at pick 6. And it was what it would do for Jalen Reagor and Quez Watkins and these other receivers. That would allow them, because they're not number one receivers. If you get a true number one receiver, sky's the limit. Now, I also wanted us to add a veteran wide receiver like we're talking about now. Did not happen. So, hey, we're going to see what the young guys got, right? I haven't seen it. So I'm concerned about Reagor. But I'm praying that we get this pass game going more. And this is the kind of game where it's like, hey, Reagor, this is your chance, buddy. Go out, do something. Same with Quez Watkins. I've been waiting. I played him in DFS. I was like, this is the week he gets the bomb. And he freaking drops it. And it's like little mistakes, man. And these are things they can work on, because they've got the talent, man. They do. So they got to get their minds right, dude. And this whole team, this whole young team, Jalen Hurts, they get on the same page. And I'm hopeful for the second half of the season we could see this passing attack take off.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
A lot of Watkins not getting the ball is probably why he dropped it. You know what I mean? Like, it's
should be in Washington. Oh man, what are you, a politician? I would never go across to the dark side. Appreciate you though, man. But hey, man, I think one of the things that Quez Watkins and someone like Jalen Reagor that was young last year, I think that that was good, because Jalen Hurts has worked with those guys, remember, because it was Carson Wentz who was the starter at the beginning of last year. But he and Quez had a nice little relationship, same with Greg Ward even. But I thought this year they were really going to build on that chemistry, and I still think there's a possibility to be that. You saw it, right? We've seen it. It's been so close, and it's either, Hurts throws it or Quez drops it. And look, those things are going to happen, and some people read way too much into that. And it's like, he's not a bust because he dropped it. Like the next one, this game, he's going to catch it. So I'm hopeful for Quez and Reagor, and I know a lot more people feel a lot more, better towards Quez, and I love Quez, man. I like them both, but I just think that Quez could easily outsnap him, which he has in games, outsnap Reagor. So people are freaking out, but it's like he's already seeing more snaps. That's just the situation, So let's just find a way to get him the ball and see what they can do.
I love what you said earlier. Whenever you said that it's not on him, because I said that the other night. I really feel bad for the kid, because everyone's hard on him because he was a first-round pick. But in the end, that's not a fair judgment on him, because we all know he wasn't a first-round talent. Okay, he truly wasn't. He was second, third, maybe fourth even. It all depends on how teams look at him. Okay, and for Howie to take him that high and then to put that high standards on this kid, like, that's just truly unfair to him, because he will take way more time to develop than what Devontae Smith has. I mean, you look, Devontae Smith is already leaps and bounds ahead of him. Leaps and bounds. That says a lot, because Smith is a true number one and Reagor is not. And that's why whenever people get antsy with it, I'm like, my word for this year is just patience, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Everything just has to just
we meant for a reason, my man.
Yeah. Everything just has to come together. Like, the coaches have to take their lumps to get better as coaches. These players have to take these losses to get better as players. it comes with a new team. We've had our 20 years of success and really good years. Now it's time to rebuild and start over again. And that's something we as fans don't want to realize. But hey, I'd rather have 2 bad years and be great again than have 5 shitty years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just get it done right the first time and do it smart. And let's worry about the next 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I 100% agree. I told you before the show, getting put in the right places at the right time, meeting the right people. And I told you, man, we met for a reason, because my key for the season is please have patience. Please expect bumpy roads, because it's going to happen. This is a young coaching staff, a young team. And I love what you said about the coaches. And it's like, dude, they're going to learn too. This is their first time doing it. So allow them to keep growing, and then we'll make judgment as to what kind of team we're going to be. But it's like, my word was retooling this year. It's like we kept a lot of the veterans that mattered on the offensive line, a couple defensive players where it's like they're going to help these young guys enter the new regime. We talked about Kelsey earlier sticking around, Brandon Graham on the defense, Fletch still here. So it's like we have some key pieces that, helped us to the Super Bowl, but they're going to see this next regime come in and they're going to teach them up. Milton Williams getting to learn from some of the best. Landon Dickerson, you know what I mean? So it's like these guys, it's going to help them for the future. And for me, I think we're going to be a contender by next year. I really, truly believe that this team, with 3 first-round picks, possibly 10 picks overall right now, we're going to have ass loads. It could be like $60 million in cap space, depending on how much money we roll over. This is going to be insane. We could bring in, and people are going to want to play with Jalen Hurts. If they see the end of this season here, we start rolling, they're going to be like, oh my God, all it's going to take is a stud receiver. Hey, that could be me. A couple defensive, but hey, that could be me. A linebacker in the middle. You have Davey and Taylor in with him on passing downs. On the running downs, you can have Singleton and TJ Edwards out with whoever this guy is, but get a stud middle line. You know what I mean? There's so much hope for the future. So I love it, man. I agree with what you're saying there. Have patience, dude. Guys, let's get behind them. Let's be fans. We know that it was rough the past few years, but they're trying to get past it. Howie said, I'm trying to learn. I'm not here to praise Howie, but I am going to give it credit where it's due.
Absolutely.
He worked that cap like a magician. And I made a show this offseason about how he could, and it was nuts because he literally did all of those things. And I was like, damn, the only one I didn't get was Fletch. And then later in the season, I'm like, but it's like all these things to get the cap right where everyone's like, oh, look at what he did. We can't get free agents. We got free agents. We got guys that are going to help groom these young men. It's like we have done a lot of good stuff here where I see what happened. I saw the draft. I saw Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson. I saw Milton Williams get picked the first 3 picks and was like, oh. Then I saw Kenny Gainwell in, the 5th. Zach McPherson, I'm really excited about in the 4th. I think Teron Jackson even. There are guys that get me excited in the 6th, 7th round. And you're like, bro, we are building toward the future. I think Howie learned from his mistakes, like he said, and we'll see this year. But it's like every time you say, we got 10 picks, but Howie drafted. I'm like, yeah, well, Howie is the one who got us these 3 first-round picks and Devontae Smith on top of it. So
and a Super Bowl.
Hey, no lie, dude. I'm telling you right now, everyone, your future. Now, granted, I'm going to say this. If Slay keeps playing the way he's playing, he will be here next year. Yeah. Hands down, I promise you that. In fact, I'm not all that far as going to say, hey, let's just keep him till he retires as long as he keeps playing well. Yep. He could be our Darrelle Revis for the Jets,
I'm down.
A lot. So as long as he keeps performing, keep him here. I'm all for it. He can help these guys. He can groom them. Knowledge is a lot more than anything. And then secondly, your future is Tay Gowan and Vincent Jr. Though I wanted Tay in the draft, dude. I'm a huge supporter of Tay Gowan.
I was a late round fan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm also I'm probably the biggest fan out of anyone in Philadelphia fan base that supports Kayvon Wallace. Now, granted, I know he's had it rough, but there's something there, man. You don't get endorsed by Brian Dawkins for no reason.
Yeah. Just someone asked me that earlier. Okay, I agree with you. There's something there. Let's have patience,
So I got a lot of and dude, Davion Taylor, my God, if this kid keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I got a lot of slack for that one, my man.
But we got to get him some help. There's no lie. So
you have the draft one. Yep.
Yeah, it's there. It's right there, man. You're right. Yep. It's all right there for the taking. We just got to be smart.
You said a lot of great stuff right there, dude. I think, for me, and I want to touch on those if I could, if you don't mind, a couple questions for you guys, actually. Because you said it there. I'm glad to hear you say that about Davian Taylor. I caught a lot of slack talking about the fact that he hasn't been healthy, so we really haven't got to see. And look, another guy where it's like, look, I had a 4th, 5th round grade on him. He can't help the fact where Howie took him in the 3rd round. And look, he hasn't been healthy, but the fact of the matter is this was the year to find out what he could do. So we talked about a lot this year, Eric Wilson and Alex Singleton. They needed to see a decrease in snaps when he did get healthy. Well, that happened. And a lot of people were, no. And I kept count, of the snap count. And I was showing people, look, it's happening right now. If Davian Taylor continues to stay healthy, he's going to get the starting job with TJ Edwards. The funny thing is, it's like yin and yang here. One's really good against the run. One's really good, like with the athleticism and coverage. They just got to, work on the opposite things. And they can be that piece that helps out that guy we're talking about, whoever it is you want to get, a veteran guy that I would much rather go in the draft. But you got Davian can help in that nickel package. And then in the run, that's what you keep Singleton around for, too, because he can come in and help there. He can help in special teams. A lot of people didn't want to hear that from me. He's got long hair. I love him. I'm like, well, you don't love me. I've got long hair. And let me tell you something. This guy, he's a great person at heart, but he's not a starting caliber guy that we need in this kind of 3-4 hybrid scheme defense that we're running. So, Davian Taylor, love it, dude. But the question I want to ask you is, you said about Tay Gowan. I was a big fan of his, very excited to, a lot of people were, why would you trade Zach Ertz? And I'm like, are you kidding me? We didn't trade Zach Ertz for Tay Gowan. We traded Zach Ertz because he's going to be gone next year. So we got something in return. We got a 5th round pick, saved $8.5 million in cap space, and we got a very promising young corner. So I was excited about it. Yeah. So you get Tay Gowan, very pumped about it. Then people are pissed. You traded a 7th for a guy that was taken, or a 6th for a guy that was taking the 7th. And it's like, well, they liked him, had a 6th round grade on him, so they felt comfortable doing it. And the thing I wanted to ask you was, you said Kerry Vincent. I was very excited about that trade, and other people, what? For me, where I see him, I think, Zach McPherson and Tay Gowan can definitely help you out as those corners of the future here. But I like Kerry Vincent as not only, I think Avonte Maddox should stick around as that nickel because that's where he belonged forever, not outside. But I think Kerry Vincent could be somebody that's an option at safety in the future because he's somebody that can play that free safety role. And the way that we play, I think of that too high set. I think that kid has a future. Do you guys think that maybe this week, if we put a pound in on this team, something I talked about in my earlier show was maybe seeing some of these young guys get some reps? You think maybe we see Kerry Vincent at safety, Gowan, McPherson as starters maybe in the 4th quarter there?
Depends on the score.
Yeah, well, of course. But how do you see it? I guess my question was, how do you see it playing out? Who would you have if Nelson Slay got benched? Where are you putting which guy? Do you think Kerry Vincent could play some safety?
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and, dude, I really like Marcus Epps. I will not lie. I mean, Marcus Epps is a dog. This dude will plant you.
For sure.
He does not care.
I could see him as safety.
He does not care. And
he gets starting reps.
Yeah, and Harris is not bad at this point. I mean, he has his whoopsies, like everyone. But
a little.
Yeah, But for the most part, he's been good. I've seen him make some really nice plays. So I don't know. I mean, I just let him battle it out for corners, honestly. But that's where I'm at now, too. It's like, dude, we have a lot of potential at cornerback, but you can only play 3 guys now. And now it's like we're like 5 deep because, a lot of people out there, they don't know much about Tay. They don't know much about Vincent Jr. They don't know much about McPherson. But then you have Maddox, and then you have Nelson, and then you have Slay. Well, yeah, we're actually really deep.
Yeah.
Really, really deep. And even if you keep Slay next year and Maddox, you're still really deep.
Yep.
So it's really hard to say anything at this point. It really is because, I mean.
Well, I think you said it without saying it.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think Nelson's going to be here next year.
No, I don't
these
either.
young guys.
Yeah.
I think one of these young guys takes over. So
Good
I guess
trade
what I
piece.
was saying was, for me, it's outside. It's Gowan and McPherson, like we said. I think Josiah Scott, we need to see what he can do in the nickel. And then I'd put Kerry Vincent at free safety and Kayvon Wallace at strong safety because I think Epps could be a starting piece for the future, so he's already getting those reps. For me, it was kind of, if it's scrub time, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Because I love where you were going with it. I'm sorry, I worded that.
No, it's fine.
So,
It's
but
fine.
I loved where you went with it because, yes, that's what I was trying to get at. We have so much depth here that we have an opportunity to actually see some of it because it's like we've got a full roster of backups that I am very excited about. And it's like they're learning right now. And that was key for me to sign a veteran cornerback this year, specifically Steve Nelson. I don't think he's Pro Bowl caliber, but I thought if they could learn from Nelson and Slay, that'll bode well for whoever these young guys are. And I'm actually excited about the guys too now.
Yeah, actually, then that's what I would do. I would put Tay as 1 in for Slay. I would put Vincent Jr. in for Nelson and McPherson in for Maddox. Because McPherson's more of a slot corner anyway. So,
which is what I was, he can play inside and out. And that was something I loved about him, that versatility when we drafted him, which was weird because they didn't use him at all inside. He played outside in the offseason. What's up, little dude? So that was weird. So I'm with you, AK. I don't know why we weren't seeing him inside. It was, and you know what it was? He's young, and you don't want, and that's why I didn't want him starting this year, and you needed a veteran because I think he just needs some time to develop. He looked good last week, so I'm with you. He can play inside out. I love that.
Yeah, I just think he's more
suited for that.
Suited for the slot. Like, for instance, he's kind of like the Maddox type player. Like,
I was just gonna say, if Avante weren't here,
if Maddox, we had Maddox on the outside the last 2 years, and that was decent. Yeah, he was decent, but that's not his strong suit.
Not at all.
He's not.
He belongs. He can play free safety too, but he holds it down at nickel.
Yeah. Now the only thing is, though, McPherson is taller than Maddox, so he definitely can.
Yeah.
Hold up on the outside. I just think you're going to get his max potential on the inside.
I agree 100% with you. I do, Richie, on the road to victory with Jimmy Smith. Appreciate you.
Yep. Backyard Birds podcast.
But you guys, I just started following. Definitely can't wait to check it all out, man. It's always a pleasure to get to meet more Eagles fans, man. What a great question, too. That was another one I thought could be a hybrid linebacker that came out here and helped with Davian Taylor as the nickel linebackers and didn't even make the roster. I mean, we kept 7. There was a whole plethora of linebackers.
Oh, they waived him?
No, he made the practice squad.
Oh, okay.
But he just didn't make the initial 53. Yeah, so that was weird, man.
Well, let me throw something at you here, man, because we don't talk about him because he doesn't really play. He's been injured. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Sean Bradley. I said this, I believe, last night, or the night before. Somebody asked me about him, and this is the way I look at it. Davion Taylor is ready to play now, but Sean Bradley overall has the higher potential.
He's got a lot of potential as a middle linebacker. Yeah.
Like his potential outweighs Davion Taylor by far if you can coach him up. But he's just so raw right now.
I think he could be that guy you need in the middle with the potential. I agree that Davion Taylor is a different.
Don't sleep on Sean Bradley.
Look, he's right now. Thank you. I'm loving you, dude. I'm loving both of you guys. It's awesome because here's the thing. Sean Bradley is leading the NFL in special teams tackles right now. So I have been out there and I've been seeing all the hashtag Pro Bowl votes, all these offensive defense players. I'm like, hey, let's give a little bit of love to our guys showing out on special teams as well. So Sean Bradley, dude, love that man. Temple proud. Want to see him keep progressing and looking forward to his future, man.
Yeah, dude, that hit that he made during the game. Woo!
Dude,
did you hear that clap?
For him. So pumped for him. I love that kid, man. Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. Well, and another special teams guy you got to look at too, man, and it just proves his speed, okay, is our gunner McPherson. Dude, every time that Sippos punts, dude, that guy's already at the end zone before the ball even hits the ground. Like, I've never seen a dude so fast in my life. And it's like, dude, that's our corner.
He's athletic as hell.
That's our corner. And he's fucking fast. Yeah. Sorry, I'm uncensored. So
he's a playmaker, though, man. You're right. And it's on offense, defense, special teams. You can put him anywhere, and he'll make plays. He's got athleticism. It runs in his blood. He's got, like, 7 family members that have been, like, the NFL, the MLB. So I'm with you. And then on the other side, you got Andre Sacheret, another random defensive back that we added that had some time with Gannon in previous years, and also Sirianni. So he comes over. And, dude, he's been balling out on special teams. That the game against the Chargers, he gets thrown in at nickel. That threw me a curveball, and he played well. So, like you had mentioned earlier, a lot of great depth to see here. And I'm just excited this year to watch that youth and to actually see them coming out, hearing those pops, getting the wins, watching their excitement. Man, that builds for the future, and that gets me really pumped.
Speaking of the future, man, you guys see how it is this year. Just imagine next year. Like,
yeah.
I'm so pumped, dude. Like, I want to see the rest of the season play out, but man,
it better if I'm being patient, dude, because I don't do that shit usually, man. I'm being patient. I expect to be rewarded next year.
Come on, Howie.
Well, first off, I apologize. I am uncensored, so I do cuss a lot on my thing.
I noticed that, so I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, you're probably not used to that much.
I do it too, and I try to keep it PG at times, but I get rearing and gearing, and I'm like, motherfucker. Like tonight, I just was going off, and I'm like,
I just speak from the heart, man.
Yep.
And I used to work in the oil field up in Alaska.
I'd rather have that, my man.
And when you hang around, when you hang around in the oil field for 6 weeks, about a bunch of alcoholics who haven't had a beer in 2 weeks, well, you hear pretty much every curse word ever made by humans.
Not seeing their wives, I can imagine that probably.
So that just came from that, and it is what it is. But
I love it, dude. Be passionate. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, no, but speaking of the future as well, like, listen, I think Jalen Hurts has made his statement, and he's made his mark. And I made the thing known last night on our show with me and Foothills. Listen, this kid is 23, and his maturity level is like fine wine. And no lie, he's like a 60-year-old in a 23-year-old body. Just imagine him at 32.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm saying this is a patient thing. And I know that my hope is because Howie picked him, that he rolls with him like he does every pick that he rolls with.
Yeah, about it.
But
how about that?
I won't lie, him looking at quarterbacks scares the shit out of me.
I got something to say about that.
Okay.
Howie wasn't the only GM in that box that night.
Yeah,
there was 4 other GMs that were invited to that.
Yeah,
game.
but
I agree with what both of you are saying.
You shouldn't have been there.
I would agree with
both.
both.
Why you know that Howie's coming back. Okay, if you're worried about your job, the last thing you're looking at that moment in that time is a freaking quarterback. Okay, you're worried about the team that is on the field and making that team win.
Yep.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's
but we don't even know
right there that he's not going anywhere, because no one in their right mind is looking at quarterbacks whenever your job's on the line. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I think it's Hurts' job, man.
Yeah. I was thinking too. We don't even know that he was looking at quarterback.
Well, there are some other stud players there. So first off, I want to say that you would say that it's doing your due diligence, but that's where the scouts come in. Let them do it. Now you got people once again with the narratives. So I that's what I was saying. I agree with both of you. I understand why he's kind of there. Maybe he's watching someone else, but also at the same time, it's like, why are you there? Don't even let any kind of doubt seep in, because you did this with every quarterback for the past few years. We don't need this game. Let's ride with the kid we got. And you guys and I were talking before this show, and I told you, I did everything I could to try to stress the fact that I believed in Jalen Hurts, but I had no idea, but let's be patient with him, because I really believe there's something special. We saw his first game against the Saints last year. He came out. No one gave him hope. He went against the best defense, the best pass rush at the time. Well, he beat him. So I think he goes out, whoops some ass again, and that's just going to keep building his confidence. But for me, it's always been the same. I still believe in this kid, and as long as he keeps getting better, which he has, staying in the pocket, going through his reads, these are things I knew he was going to struggle with, but that's why he went out, sought out Quincy Avery, quarterback coach. That's why he went to the Bro Barn with Gabe Wrangle. I mean, and I'm telling you what, I had his trainer. Now we learn about Peyton Manning. I had his chef on. I learned what his habits were eating. These people, every single person that talked about him was like, he's not real. Like, this guy is up at 4 a.m. I don't understand. I call him the Terminator. I don't understand why people were so hard on him. Is he not the embodiment of what we want in Philadelphia? Is he not the opposite of the last guy who ran when he saw adversity? This dude takes it head on. The best thing I ever heard was this offseason when I had his trainer on, and he said that they were talking on ESPN, like, oh, the Eagles need to trade for Deshaun Watson. Jalen Hurts sucks. And he was like, man, let me turn this off. And Jalen Hurts was like, no, leave it on. And I was like, that's it. That's all I needed here. QB1. And I'd already believed him. But at that point, I was literally ready to jump through that wall, because it was like, this dude is going to come out swinging. And he did. And we beat the Falcons. But he had his issues the next few weeks. And then everybody's, he sucks. He's a bust. I knew it. And it's like, dude, how do you know? He hasn't even played a full season. Holy hell. It's not
Yeah.
like he was a first-round pick that was coming out ready. And whatever grade they had on him, who cares? He was taken in the second, but that means he wasn't first round. He wasn't ready.
Right.
We knew he needed to be developed. Well,
Yeah.
that's what you
He was
see on the
not
field.
polished.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how you do it on the field. You can have as many scrimmages and whatever you want. Don't care. He's got to play the game, and he's going to have the bumps and bruises, but it's how do you come back from them? And I've seen nothing but this dude get better. So that gets me
Resilience.
nothing but excited. Love
Yeah,
it.
And let me make
resilient.
one valid point here. This kid was not a runner-up to the Heisman for no
Yeah,
reason.
dude.
at all.
Right, man.
That counts.
We
for
got to get what
something.
these people are smoking, man, because I don't know what's going on with the people that it drives me nuts, bro. I
The
love
talent
you
is
guys
there.
flat.
Listen, I've said it, bro. I'm going to go on a tangent real quick because you probably have never seen my show before.
Get
Okay,
it.
listen. Jalen Hurts was not a polished quarterback coming in. Okay, he was not. Nowhere near. Okay, when you look at this kid, the raw talent, the athleticism, and his scrambling abilities, yeah, he might not have the greatest arm in the world. Everything you bitch about, guess what, can be fixable with time. Okay, but everything that he does great already, you can't teach. That's natural, raw ability. Okay, and we can be hard on him all we want, but I've seen this kid, and why everyone is after him is because you can't break him.
Mhm.
And that is Philadelphia.
Yes,
No
By
sir.
doubt.
far. Okay, you
They
can't
want to break him.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't break us. And why you keep rolling with this kid is because of the potential that he does bring. It's not about right now. If anyone wants to sit here and think that for any reason whatsoever that this is a Super Bowl caliber team, well, that's way off in left field. Do I believe
I don't know.
because we are one game out of the playoffs, do I believe this team can make it? Yes, I do. If they keep playing the way they do.
Yeah.
Okay. But defensively, I don't believe our pieces are fully there for us to truly make that run. You know, you go up against the Rams, odds are we get fucking smoked. I'm not playing. You know, well, let's be realistic. Okay.
Not betting anything on that one.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, this platform that we have built for the next 10 years is probably the most solid platform you'll ever see. And Jalen Hurts is the real deal because you've seen Kelsey back, Carson Wentz to the fullest. I mean, to the fullest. And even Zach Ertz, that was Wentz's brother. And dude, he had Ertz on his side this year. Like Ertz loved the guy.
He's a leader,
Kels
man.
loves the guy. You're drawn to his energy and he makes you want to believe, which makes you better. This game is 90% physical, 90% mental and 10% physical. You can be a really untalented team, but if you believe in one another and you're all mentally there, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Any given Sunday, my man.
That's
so
right.
you don't count us out, but you got to be realistic.
Yes.
Well-
temper your expectations. That's what I'm going to believe. I'm going to love my team, but I'm also going to be a realist. But by next year, I agree with you. So the hope is there. I'm just extending my stay for the season, right? This is just part A of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't push it too far either, but this season has been crazy, hasn't it, guys? Like there's no bull in this season like that's taking, charge. There's no team that's equivocally higher than the next, and
true.
I think that's due to the talent that's coming in the league. I really do. But what it is, it's the fundamentals and it's the small things that we do, in the game. So, I mean, if we just get that right, man, and we could be a juggernaut and we could take it to the Super Bowl, man. Right now, we're at a 46% chance of getting in the playoffs. That's what I'm looking at, And
Anything
if
can
we
happen.
beat the Saints, if we beat the Saints, that goes above 50%. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, man, from where we were to where we are now,
Yeah.
light years.
And dude, that's all because of Jalen. Okay. Let me put it this way.
True.
Running
This
the ball,
kid has
too.
progressed really well. At the beginning of the year, he was rolling out to his right all the time because you know what? In college, that's how they taught him. Look at your first read. If it isn't there, use your legs and get out. That was just exactly what it is. This kid is 23 years old, and as raw as he is, Nick Sirianni can morph him into whatever the hell he wants. That is what's great about Jalen Hurts. Because he wasn't a finished product coming out, you can literally do whatever you want with this kid. Okay, and you're starting to see it. He's starting to progress. His first read, his second read, and then he'll dip. But what I loved last week was he stepped up in the pocket more. He only rolled out whenever they zero blitzed him and there was a rusher that came free. Okay? Other than that, you look at that Goddard pass, the one that he had his concussion on. He read it, he stepped up, and he delivered a bomb. The arm talent has always been there.
On the left side of the field too, my man.
Yeah, and the issue with Hurts, man, is in my eyes, the last 5 years he'd had 5 different offenses. Okay, he's never actually had an off season where he can just go in and just focus on himself. He had to learn a new offense. He had to learn new players. He had to learn everything all the time. And even with Doug last year, same thing. Learned a new offense, had to get acclimated with the players. It wasn't able to focus on him. At the end of this year, if you keep this kid, he goes into the offseason already secure on his spot, and all he has to do is focus on him. Just him. His mechanics, sharpen his mechanics up. Dude, you could see a jump like Carson Wentz with Jalen Hurts from year 2 to 3. But you got to let him do it. Well, yeah, it's there. But I'm telling you, from off season though, in that however many months that we have, that's where he's going to increase this year. And you're going to see him go from completing 91.9% of his passes to 98. That jump right there alone is great.
Yeah. You made a great point in there about, the coaching. One of the things his trainer had said about him was the greatest thing about Jalen Hurts is he is so teachable and he's so willing to learn. And Nick Sirianni is a teacher. That's what kind of coach he is. He is a teacher. And AK said it earlier in the video. The one thing that Jalen Hurts is lacking is the things that can be taught. So he's got all the talent in the world. I don't know what the hell people are sleeping on there, but now they're starting to see it because once he starts get rolling, but you guys hit the nail on the head there. He's literally going to have an off season to really just focus on QB1. That's amazing, man. And I think it's going to everything that we've talked about, he's just going to keep growing, being that leader, being that guy that's resilient. And he's just going to really show people why he is QB1 and he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league by next year.
Yeah, he's starting to roll out to his left now too. I mean, he's doing everything he's supposed to, man.
In the middle of the field.
Yeah. Everything's being done now. So all the haters and naysayers, zip it.
Haven't said much, have they? All I've seen is people backtracking.
Yeah. Walking backwards, man.
Love it.
Yeah.
Let's hit this halfback room real fast here, man. I guess we're going to have Miles Sanders back this Sunday, possibly.
Yeah,
could happen. I don't know. What do you say here? Do you feel we should ride the hot hand? I mean, I am a Penn State fan. Don't get me wrong. I love Booby, but wow, that sounded bad. I love Booby Miles. We'll add Miles at
I like boobies too.
Okay, I like boobies too.
Movie run.
Jordan and Scott are doing a great job right now for us, dude. And I don't know, as much as I love Miles, man, I don't know if I want to ruin that. Do we just ride it until the wheels fall off and then plug and play? Or, I mean, I know you got to use him. He is a number one, but that's got to mess a little chemistry up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do, and I'm with you on that road because it's like, look, man, Boston and Jordan have done phenomenal, and especially for what the hell happened at the beginning of the season, dude. It was Miles Sanders and Kenny Gainwell. Jordan Howard was on the practice squad. Boston Scott never got used, and now all of a sudden we're using the two guys that never got used, and it's like, so that's fine. We talked about needing to change. Well, that change came in the form, but here's the thing: it did, in most eyes, come in the form of injury, but before Miles Sanders got hurt, I think Nick Sirianni already knew, look, if I don't run this ball, I'm doomed. So that Raiders game, Miles Sanders, I think, had 6 carries for 30 yards, 5 yards per carry. So we were running the ball. We went right down the field, remember? Scored that touchdown right away. I was like, here we go, baby. Then the next drive, he gets hurt. And it's like, So we got away from the run. But the next week, it was like, all right, we got to bring up Jordan Howard. That was my emphasis. And then we got to use the committee like we should have been using from the get-go. Well, he comes out. I really thought, Nick Sirianni's coming from Indianapolis where they use Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, Marlon Mack, and Jordan Wilkins. But no, we don't use anything like that. So it threw me off. It threw me a curveball. But to see them finally use the committee and it work and find success with Jalen Hurts, it was like, that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah, we've been screaming for.
So, yeah, man. And I've made the joke for the past few years because this is something I've had to deal with since Andy Reid. So then you get Doug Peterson doing the same. At least Chip Kelly ran the ball. But it's like, I've run the damn ball. That's what I say all the time because they don't run the ball. And I thought, Sirianni's here. We're not going to have to run the ball. Oh, my God. And then it became like hell. And so for me, I'm with you guys. I'm so excited to see this run game. And it's like, oh, shit, we have Miles Sanders. So it's like, do you mess with that chemistry? Now, here it is. Yes, you got to put Miles Sanders as your number one. But I think this game, you can ease him into and you can allow that success to still ride because even if I don't know if he will play, but his 21-day practice window was activated and he was there at practice. He says he's ready. So he could definitely be activated. If he is, you still have an excuse. So give him 5 to 10 snaps, but allow these guys to continue running that ball. I think it was 12 carries for Jordan Howard and 11 carries for Boston Scott. And of course, Jalen Hurts had like 7. But you got to get that run game going again. 10 plus carries for all these guys and use the committee. Use them all. Use every one of them because it's not Miles Sanders is back. Let's focus in on him. Hell no. As I said earlier, I need to see that thunder and lightning because that was what I thought was going to be the bread and butter of this team. I literally thought it's either Jordan Howard or Kerryon Johnson as Miles Sanders, thunder to the lightning. And Kerryon gets hurt, so he's gone. That's fine. Jordan Howard, right? And then I thought, okay, he didn't make the initial roster because of money, right? He gets guaranteed contract if he's on the roster week 1. Week 2, it's only 25% guaranteed. So I thought, how we doing money, right? Week 8. What? So yeah, that threw me off. But dude, you use them all. You got to use them all. I'm with you. You can't break what you've been doing. And I feel if you just focus on Miles, you can use that excuse now this week. But dude, this is your team. There's no. I've said it and people get mad at me. But it's like, when has Miles Sanders been healthy? I'm a Penn State fan myself, and I love Booby. But let's be real, he has not been healthy. So. Running backs in the NFL, they get beaten down easily. Let's keep them fresh and use all of our running backs. You see teams find success with that. So we could too, but we didn't. But we're here now. Let's see Miles and Jordan together, and this could be even more of a fierce running combination because Miles Sanders is much better than Boston.
100%.
My take on this is, the Saints are a really good run defense. They're it's evident. But I don't really want to use Booby that much because he does get stuck in the backfield and he does dance around. You know what I mean? I'd rather have Howard be the leading back in this one and Scott, but and then sprinkle in Sanders. You know what I mean? Like after, the second half, start sprinkling in Sanders. After we've already beaten him to a pulp. You know what I mean? That's when
I'm with you.
It,
dude. I think I love it. And I agree with AK riding the hot hand. I think, yes. So combined of what you both said, let Jordan Howard be that hot hand. He would work better against the Saints, I think.
I hope Miles Sanders watches this because I want you to take some advice from me right now. Okay. I love you, dog. I do. I think very highly of you. You truly can be better than Saquon. I'm not lying when I say that.
I think he is already.
Yeah. I really have high hopes for this kid. But dog, you the way you run, you need to go this off season and you need to work out with Le'Veon Bell. And the only reason that I say that is I need you to get that Le'Veon Bell patience.
I was just going to say, one of the most patient
backfield. Yep. You need to find that Le'Veon Bell in you. I don't mind you dancing, but you got to hit that hole when it opens up.
True.
So you need to go take the offseason, work out with Le'Veon, figure out what made him great at Pittsburgh, and use it. Because that is going to be your best compliment.
Yep.
Yes.
More patience.
I don't mind the patient
runners. That's the key to the show,
but
right?
You have to do it well. Yeah. And who's the best? Yeah, exactly. And
one of the most patient runners I've ever seen
to ever be in the NFL?
I don't know if
Yeah.
it'd be Le'Veon, but he's one of that I've seen in the past 10 years for the hands down. He is phenomenal to watch. Yeah, effing good. Could you imagine if he could get his mind right and actually go out and become like a coach or a teacher, dude? He could really help a lot of young men, because watching that dude's footwork was something, a piece of artwork.
Definitely special.
Yeah. Go train with Bell.
What a fall off from grace for him, man. Holy shit.
Right?
Yeah, what happened?
He went to the Jets.
Attitude.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
Well, that too.
Well, I think it's too. It goes lineman. You know what I mean? You got to have the right lineman.
Yeah, that's
No,
fact.
that was
Starts in the
totally
trenches, bro.
Adam Gase's fault, bro.
Oh, true.
That was all the reason why Bell
Adam
fell.
Gase sucks so bad.
Adam Gase was. I don't even know why the Jets even hired him. Dude, he destroyed the
move.
Dolphins. He destroyed them, and you were already destroyed as a franchise, and yet you brought him in, who destroyed you even more.
It could be the money too.
I don't know.
Too, you know?
I don't know.
Because
always follow the money.
Yeah, he did. He did. Leave the league for a little bit, and he cashed in on that check. You know what I mean? I think they paid him good to go to the Jets. I don't know the contract, but I'm sure they paid him heavy to go back. So.
Well, he kind of messed around, if you remember, in that situation. Thought he was top dog, and a bunch of teams were like, well, all right, we have our running backs. So they gave him a nice chunk, but he kind of had to pick from the scraps, and Jets were kind of there. So rough situation.
Yeah, they just were not coached properly, man. That's that problem.
That's major.
Yeah.
And look at Sirianni. I hate the fact that people were so rough on him, man. I thought this guy is actually not only seems like a good coach, but he seems like a teacher that wants to actually, resonate with these guys. And I think he got away from the whole accentuating players' skill sets thing that we were supposed to have, but he's gotten to that. And let's see more of that and getting these guys what they're good at, So he and Gannon, I think it's just in time, man. But they don't make me feel like we've got an Adam Gase in house. You know what I mean? I'm like, sure, I'm confident that they are going to learn and, hey, possibly bring us another one of those bad
roots. And I mean, come on, man, get off the guy's fucking back. So what? He's a nice guy.
Serious.
Like he truly cares about players, and you can tell he truly cares about this team.
He's nice. That's what people hate about him.
He's a nice guy.
Right?
So you're gonna fucking put him.
You know what pissed him off, dude? He started talking football, and he started saying about the banana routes, and they were like, I don't know what he's saying. So they just got pissed. He knew football, so they were pissed.
It's like, what, you're really gonna put down a nice guy? Oh, what big men you are.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. Clowns.
And a guy that hangs out in Philly. You know what I mean? He showed up at somebody's wedding or something. You know what I mean?
What head coach do you see open up the gate and go out and throw football with fans?
Yep. Right. Pander the hell out of us. I want you to be part of the family. Yep.
Yeah, are you shitting me right now? No other coach is going to do that shit.
Yep.
They'd have bodyguards around him being like, no, you can't get close. No, back up.
We're the bodyguards. Exactly.
Yeah, he's out there throwing football. Like, fuck out of here, man. He cares.
Love it.
Put him down for Karen? Really? Is that where we came to as a fucking fan base?
I think so, unfortunately. But hey, that's why we try to counteract that, right?
I think it's more media.
It is,
though.
and the media gets people, and a lot of people too listen too much hot takes and clickbait.
That was a mistake, Richie. Yep. I agree. That was a total mistake. But hey, rookie mistake, lesson learned. He ain't gonna do it again.
Yeah, he's not a stupid guy.
No,
he's not. And I think he got a lot of hate for a lot of stupid stuff, because it's like, look, he's playing the Cowboys, he's playing the Chiefs, he's playing the Buccaneers, high-powered offenses. Yeah, he got away from the run. He knows now, but it's like, yeah, he was scared. He had to put up points, and he got away from it. And look. Now he's figuring himself out. These are the bumpy roads. I even made the joke while we were going through that. I said, look, bumpy roads, and right now we're in a Prius in the fucking Rocky Mountains. It's a little bit crazier than I thought, but we're still going to get through.
Hell no, Richie. That shit needs to go in the vault and never come out.
Yep. Yeah. Make up something else. I don't care. Use Rager in the backfield. I love that. Use Quez, whatever you got to do, but I don't need to see the Philly special.
Come up with that bullshit play special where you have two offensive linemen and then a QB right behind them and everyone's out on one side. I don't fucking know.
Heavy line.
Don't bring back the Philly special. Put that shit in the vault and leave it there.
I got a better idea. Just have two tight ends set and Jordan Howard out there and right in the red zone. You know what I mean?
I was going to say 13. 13 personnel, man. You got the 3 tight ends. Have Jordan Howard, your single back. Devontae Smith, your single receiver, dude. That is a mismatch waiting to happen. They've got some good linebackers in Demario Davis and Quan Alexander, but I still think we've got a lot of mismatches here, and I can't wait, dude. I think we can really put a hurting on this team.
Yeah, man.
To be honest, bro, I think Jalen Hurts goes for 275, 3 touchdowns.
Love it.
Because they do have the number 1 overall rushing defense. I get that.
26 against the pass.
Yeah. So I see Jalen eating this week and in the pass because, he is improving. And the belief is there. You see it. We're still going to run. Even if we don't gain yards, I believe we're going to run. But you have to do it to keep them compliant.
You can't make yourself one-dimensional.
Yeah. Yep. So we got to make them play our game.
Facts.
And
control the game, baby.
Yeah. And if he has to go back to the RPO to open up that
few times
run game a little bit, like he did last year with Jalen Hurts, Dougie, he's probably going to come in with the same plan as Doug. He's probably rewatching that video, of last year's game and taking a lot of that in. I would not bet 1 minute on that. That's probably what he's doing.
Sure.
So what's your guys' score prediction for this game?
Okay, well, look at it this way. The Buccaneers last week, they were second, and I think they weren't even giving up 20 points a game. These guys are like seventh. They're giving a little over 20 points a game. I still think we could put up another 30 burger on these guys. I think we could beat them 34-13. I think we could put up 4 more points, and we give them some points in garbage time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a highly defensive game for us. I think we're going to crush Simeon because he's not a running quarterback.
He sucks.
Yeah, and I don't think Jonathan Gannon, is going to be starstruck by this guy. So
no doubt. We should be able to get pressure with both their offensive tackles out of this effing game. It's time to get some sacks, some turnovers, baby.
Yeah. Cox has got to do something too. You know what I mean? He's getting paid enough. So
he's been killing it this year, man. Him, Hargrave, and Avery have they're 3 of the top guys in win percentage when it comes. Now it's not showing up in the stat sheets for a lot of people, but when you're looking at them taking on double teams, and even when they're single, you're not seeing them get the sack, but you're seeing a quarterback run for his effing life, and he's throwing a shitty throw. So I see hope in this defense, but Gannon's really just got to figure some things out. And what was crazy to me, and what I've said is, if you don't have the right players for the scheme, well, then you're not running the right scheme. So you have to accentuate to those players' skill sets, like you said you were going to. You're missing pieces, so you got to adjust. And I need to see that not only before the games, but during the games. So
I think it's going to be probably 24-16 somewhere in there, something like that. What do you think, AK?
Man, I have Darius Slay coming away with 2 interceptions in this game.
Love it.
Hands down. I got us having 3 sacks as well.
I had 4 sacks.
Okay, I have Hargraves with 2 and Sweat with 1.
Telling me I should play him in my fantasy. A little Hargrave. All right.
There you go.
Just keep Derek Barnett out of 3rd down.
Yes,
he might not play. He just got a neck injury today. So
really?
He's questionable. Yeah.
Cool.
Josh Sweat season, baby.
And Kerrigan now.
Well, freaking Kerrigan. What sucks is we're running this 3-4 scheme predominantly. We saw a little more 4-3, which you need to if you're going to use guys like Kerrigan and Teron Jackson, because they're more your defensive ends in a 4-3. In a 3-4, they've been trying to use Kerrigan at that defensive end rather than an outside linebacker edge rusher. He can't play that. He's too old. He sucks. He's not doing anything there. But the problem is Brandon Graham was that guy. He's the anomaly there that was able to play that defensive end position in a 3-4, which is crazy. So you've got a bunch of edge rushers lined up on this line, and it was fierce. And then he gets hurt. But Milton Williams is that guy that needed to replace that Brandon Graham 3-4 defensive end. So he continues to get better. So I just want to see, him continue to do that more. And I'll be.
I want to see Jackson as well. I think we need to bring Jackson up and get this rookie some reps so we can see what we're getting into.
Use more 4-3 and get him in there.
Exactly. I agree. For me, I have us having a defensive game here because I have no faith in this Saints offense. Okay. Defensively, like I said, Jalen Hurts, he has 3 touchdowns, about 250, 275. He might eclipse 3. I don't know. Who knows?
I'm with it.
I have us winning 32-17.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Love it. Ready to go, dude.
That's
This
awesome.
is awesome, dude. This is serious. You guys got me. It's like, oh shit, the game's not tomorrow. I'm like getting all yeah. Like, great, I'm gonna have a heart attack tomorrow trying to get ready for this damn thing.
I will say this though: no one gets the ball inside the 10 but Jordan Howard. I have to say that. I'm sorry. Yeah, Miles can run, but dude, Jordan is that guy.
You know what? The only thing I want to see if it's not Jordan Howard is that 13 personnel I was talking about. Tyree Jackson, a little more extended snaps. I know he's coming back from a back injury, but get that big body out there, a little play action to Howard after you haven't made it maybe 2 times. Then I'm okay if you pass it. But yes, run the ball. If all else fails, throw it up to one of these big tight ends and let's show that, my God, we can kill you with our receivers, running backs, tight ends, quarterback, doesn't matter. We're coming for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, AK, you ready to get it out of here, man?
Yes, sir. Jimmy, it was so nice to meet you, man. I watched 4th and John, you know. I've met Gail. I've talked to Gail. You know, he's been on my show, but I've never got the chance to meet you, man. And it's honestly been a pleasure, and I definitely will have you back on here soon to talk some more. But yeah, dude, this guy is a maniac, man. One of a kind, and great guy on the 4th and John. Go over there and check him out. But yeah, man, definitely shout yourself out. Give your final statements. You know.
Yeah, man. You can find me on the road to victory is the name of my brand. Created it. You know, you guys, we talked about it before the show. You know, had some health scares, but you know, I just try to spread that brotherly love like we're doing tonight, bringing on people. Sometimes you have to deal with just me, so it is what it is. But always just getting out there. There's too much clickbait, hot takes, stuff like that. But also write and co-host sometimes with my guys over at 4th and John. So I just keep trying to build that family. And dude, the pleasure was all mine to meet both of you guys. I've got to talk to you a little bit online here and there, but to actually get to meet, it's been a pleasure to find people that are in love with something as much as you are and dedicate their time, you know, and it's beautiful. So keep doing what you guys are doing, man. I love it. I can't wait to come back on again. I'll have to get you guys on my show, but the pleasure has truly been all mine. Are you wearing, is that an Assassin's Creed shirt? I don't know what is on that.
Oh, my shirt?
Yeah.
No, it's just an Irish shirt.
I got Far Cry 6 and it was giving away some shirt and it looks exactly like that, but I don't own the Assassin's Creed game, so I couldn't get it. I was like, this dude's throwing it in my face. He was watching me. He knew it. I had to ask you, but dude, this was awesome. I can't wait to do it again. Eagles, we're going to get this win on Sunday. All the other fans are finally going to come along and be like, you know what? Let's ride behind Jalen Hurts and we're going to all enjoy a bright future very soon. I love you guys, dudes. Truly can't wait for the next time. And thank you to everyone else that tuned in and watched all the questions. I try to watch all of them. If I miss anything, sorry, dude. But this was awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you doing this for us. You know, it's been an honor meeting you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the late night show, guys. We are out of here.
Yep. Thank you. I am on the road to 300. Appreciate all the love and all the support. I am AK Eagles. I may fuss and cuss, but you can count on me and my content like the fucking city bus. And if you like the Wagyu, subscribe too. Hey, great show, guys. Loved it. Until next time, this is AK Eagles of the Eagles Late Night Talk Show. Have a good night. Fly, Eagles, fly.